Barbra Streisand won a Grammy after teaming with one of their members, and Diana Ross and Elvis Presley are just two of the artists who've recorded their songs. So who are they? Well, none other than the Bee Gees. Still staying alive for nearly 3 decades of chart-topping hits, the Bee Gees are back on the scene with a new LP, Size Isn't Everything. Although they grew up in Australia and even had their own show on Aussie TV, the Bee Gees, that's Barry, and his younger twin brothers Robin and Maurice, were actually born in England. And England is where they finally achieved international success with the release of their 1967 LP, First.
Where is the light that would stay in my street? And where are the things I could see?
When we were three children, preteens, we made an agreement between each other.
Oh, we'd never sue each other?
We'd never sue each other, and that we had a mutual dream, and that was to be...
Always do the same way.
was to be a famous pop group. And we have pursued that dream for us up to the present.
Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones? Do you know what it's like on the outside?
Now, more than 25 years later, the Bee Gees have achieved their goal, and then some. Since their debut, the Bee Gees have sold over 100 million records, earned 7 Grammys, and have dozens of international hits, including 9 #1s. The Bee Gees are also ranked 5th on the all-time album sales charts, topped only by Michael Jackson, the Beatles, Elvis Presley, and Paul McCartney. But even with that impressive list of credits, they're still not ready to quit.
We love writing and creating songs and recording them. And we like to write and have done for other people as well. But it's great to see those songs come alive in other people and in ourselves. So we love writing songs.
But you never get used to the thrill of hearing your new record on the radio for the first time, having a #1 record. Those feelings they're different every time, but they're the greatest natural high you can have. And it's a wonderful feeling to have that, you know, and we'd miss it. We love what we're doing.
That driving ambition took the Bee Gees to the top in the 70s when they became the international symbol for disco with the release of a handful of disco favorites, including Staying Alive, Night Fever, and Jive Talking.
The Fever period, the one negative factor that we look back on with the Fever period was that we were never out of the charts. We were always in the charts. And that can have an effect on you mentally. It can take away some of the hunger and not make you want to work quite so hard. You sort of want to sit back and, oh, no matter what we do, we'll be in the charts. And I think that's a bad thing. So we got past all that. And now we have that desire and that hunger to be in the charts.
Despite a career setback when the disco scene died in the early 80s, the group persevered, reminding listeners that long before there was Saturday Night Fever, they were a talented trio that some critics called the New Beatles. The Bee Gees continue to forge ahead into the 90s with Size Isn't Everything. It's their 30th LP. The record features 11 new hits, like the single Paying the Price of Love.
What we do when we make albums, particularly with this one, is to make hopeful singles and then put them all together and you've got an album. Because that's why every track on the album is different from the last. which is an old Beatle trick, actually, because every single they made, you didn't know what they were going to come up with, because they were always different from the last.
Why do you have to be a heartbreaker? Living a lesson that I never knew.
As songwriters, the Bee Gees also have an impressive list of credits, including 17 #1 hits, 9 of which they recorded themselves, and 8 others that were covered by other artists, from Frankie Valli to Barbra Streisand. In 1977, the Bee Gees became the first and only songwriters to ever have had 5 songs in the top 10 at the same time. So how do they keep doing it? Well, for them, there's only one way: together.
Oh, yeah, we only write together. We have ideas individually, and we have sometimes, some of my ideas come in a dream, like when I'm asleep. So I have a little dictaphone next to the bed, and I'll put that idea immediately on tape.
Together, the brothers Gibb are trying to capture another dream, one that only can be grasped by a handful of musicians with the staying power of the Bee Gees.
Our goal, or one of our goals, is that the piece of music that we're writing is going to be played in 20 years from now. And that's vital to us. That's an immortality of the sort. You know, it has a life of its own.
Disco music and other 70s sounds are now making a comeback beyond the Bee Gees. Several 70s-style clubs have popped up all around Los Angeles.
It sold over 100 million albums, had 9 #1 hits, won 7